Make sure your microphones are out when you're talking.
Hello. Hello, everybody. We're here today to commence our Conservation Commission meeting Tuesday to September 16th at 4:30. I'm Taryn McGregor.
Susan Gibbons.
Amy Keeler. Dorothy Finlay.
Carlos Salinas.
Wonderful. The first order of business is on the Block Island Club. Discuss and act on notice of Coastal Resources Management Council. Discuss and act on application 2025-06090. The Block Island Club is seeking to expand its existing previously permitted CRMC file number 1995-02026 residential boating facility in type 1 waters, conservation areas. The originally permitted configuration allowed for 1,920 square feet of timber floats, which were comprised of 3 separate sections: a 240 square foot dinghy float, a 240 square foot swim float, and a 1,440 square foot main dock. The current float configuration is now limited to the main dock that is comprised of 6 floats that total 1,536 square feet that are deployed seasonally. The response is due by it's coming October 9th. So what are our notes on this? I find that there's a lot of docks that want to go in. There's quite a few. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 total docks. Proposed floatage is 4,050 square feet.
Yep. Yeah, it comes up to over 4,000.
Right, opposed to what it currently is, which is 1,536 feet. So the change is pretty immense.
It's
200. It's a 210 increase of floatage.
210%.
Yeah, 210% increase of floatage. Thanks for doing that math, Sue. So yeah, I want to see what everyone's feelings are about this.
I have feelings.
I want you to share them.
I just came from the property.
Yeah.
There's more than just the existing in place.
Mm-hmm.
There is, as a matter of fact, it's appeared to be that there is this dock already in place, the 64-foot.
Yeah.
I didn't measure it. And definitely where the sailboats are launched, there's a ramp in place. And they have floats underneath them, and it seems to be existing. That's not what this existing map says. So what I don't understand is, when did all this go in, and was it permitted? How long has this been in place? I really don't know. They also have a beautiful beach to swim off of. I don't understand why they even need a proposed swimming area. And I just don't really understand why. And then above and beyond, there are floats all over the place in the lawns, like more floats and more floats.
Yeah.
So to me, they've already crossed the line, especially in those waters that are the Great Salt Pond.
Right, and they're type 1 water.
They're type 1 protected. Exactly. So what I don't understand is why do they even have what they have in place? Have you been?
Is there somebody here from the club that can talk about it? Yeah.
Well, I'm here from the club, but I honestly can't speak about it. I can take notes and get you answers, but I'm clueless about all of this. And honestly, and Henry can probably give us a better history than I could.
Great.
So, Henry, can you speak to whether whether the expansion's already been done?
Sure.
You just make sure that.
Yeah, raise the mic up and turn it on.
The little green push button.
Button that says, okay, hi, and I'm Henry DuPont. I've been involved with the Block Island Club since I was a little kid. My family helped start the Block Island Club. My Uncle Steve was the first president, and we love the Block Island Club. I served on the Board of Governors for many years, and I know also with a number of my other Board of Governor directors, like Carl Kaufman and stuff like that, the club has tried to improve its waterfront facilities from time to time. The original dock was in terrible repair, and about 10 years ago, it got rebuilt. And then about 6 years ago, and it just had the main dock, and then it had probably a 16 by 30-foot float, period, out in front of the main dock. I mean, that's what it's been like for years and years. And about 10 years ago, Carl Kaufman, who was on the board, and he's a board of director emeritus, whatnot, the club applied for the kind of expansion that you're looking at here. And I'm reading from a letter to the Committee for the Great Salt Pond about Carl Kaufman. It says, I was head of the club some years earlier when we rebuilt the fixed pier and restored the floats, both on the end and alongside. Then he went to CRMC with our plans and were given permission to proceed. There was one important caveat. All of the restoration work, the pier needed new pilings and cross spalls, and any new floats would have to fall entirely within the footprint of the old pier and floats. We're told specifically we cannot extend even by 1 foot or put additional pilings further out into the Great Salt Pond, this being type 1 waters. I asked if we could put in some stone or block across the sandy beach to make it easier to launch smaller boats on dollies. Permission denied. Such a ramp, CRMC said, would constitute a fixture, which is prohibited in type 1 waters. We could put down a flexible mat to be used only in season and hauled out at the end of the year. And Carl says he bought one, and it was on the beach for a short time until it disappeared. For many years, several club members had private moorings off the club. Jamie Spallone, the Caress, and Carl was among them. They were grandfathered in, and the club uses those today. And one more, the stipulation was that no liveaboards could be there because it's conservation waters. It's and not in the regular anchorage. One mooring owner broke that rule, and his mooring permit was revoked, and he never got it back. Several years ago, during my tenure on the Harbors Committee, we addressed the mooring issue and revised the harbor management plan, and it said that nonprofits, the club as one, could have up to 6 moorings in type 1 waters, a location directed by the harbors, and these would be exclusively by club-owned watercraft, no liveaboards. I'm no longer on the Harbors Committee and do not know if this ruling has gone into effect. And then he goes on about his own mooring. Well, I can tell you, because I was on the Board of Governors, that the club tried to improve the waterfront, and Carl's letter reflects the answer that the CRMC gave, which was, we're very sorry, it's type 1 waters, not a single foot of expansion is allowed. You can rebuild, you can redo, but you can't expand. So about 5 years ago, a marine, what's the name of the docking? It's New England Marine and Pilings and whatever. Anyway, a barge showed up with a bunch of pilings, and they put in a bunch of pilings, and they built new docks, and all the docks there that are being applied for on that application are already there. They're illegally installed about 5 years ago. So this application is to get permission for what they did about 5 years ago. And if you go down there and measure them and whatever, it's exactly what's on paper here, which, and so, and I'm on the board of the Committee for the Great Salt Pond, and and I'm not speaking for the committee because our board of directors has not met yet. We're going to meet tomorrow to discuss this exact thing. So there hasn't been a decision, but just personally, I find it abhorrent that someone would go ahead and legally build a structure after they've already been told they can't, and then come back and ask for it to be grandfathered in or permitted or whatever. And that's a big issue for me. And I mean, if other places upstate, like that golf course that's in, Coonessett Golf Course. They built a big break wall around their ninth hole, and it's been 5 years before they finally got the order to get it removed. And the same with this. I'm sure people complained to the CRMC when all of this, new docks were put in, new piles were put in, the swimming. The thing you see on shore is probably the swimming floats, which will likely have been taken out by now, but they put piles in for those. And I mean, as I said, we love the Block Island Club, but if someone tells you no and you go ahead and do it anyway, then there isn't a good justification for that.
That's
Thank you,
correct.
Henry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
Yeah, so,
That makes things more interesting.
well, it makes things
So-
easier, I suppose. I did a little research having seen the application, and I just looked under type 1 waters for expansion of dock space into type 1 waters. And as I'm sure you guys already know, in order to make this legal, they would need a special exception from CRMC. And their own language is that special exception requires compelling public interest versus private benefit. And that, the grandfathered dock would certainly continue to, who knows what year that went in. I mean, I used it as a child many, many times, I'm sure. So that one is grandfathered, but CRMC even severely limits maintenance on a grandfathered dock. Never mind new pilings and the new floats. So,
Well, I'd be curious to see how the water has been changed or altered in the last 5 years since this has happened. Like, was there any, because if this all happened very quickly and without permission, then there's really no like accountability in how the biodiversity was before and to how it's been preserved now. And that's kind of like our main concern in regards to like approving and denying things. And I don't know if that exists, that data.
I don't
Essentially.
think you could get
Right,
that
there's
done
no way,
easily.
there's really no way to do that.
Frankly, I'm not sure that it's important, but I'm not sure that it really matters, because
Right.
if you were able to prove there hasn't been a degradation of the water quality from the addition of these docks, it doesn't make the process 5 years ago of doing it without permission
Not at
less
all.
illegal.
No, certainly not.
It's
Yeah,
not,
Well, and I also
very
think,
frustrating.
it, to a large extent, those structures probably didn't alter things tremendously. But my bigger concern then is the expanded usage in a conserved area.
Right.
We have a wildlife bird sanctuary. We have all this pristine land. And somewhere in here, one of the things I said that I said something in the docks would then help more with motorboats. And the last thing I want are outboards zipping around in there.
That's what I'm referring
so,
to, yeah.
I think it's a concerning thing. And then my concern is there are other houses, private places. Now, this is a private club.
Right.
Yes.
Now, if a private club can get away and all of a sudden get these permits, then what's to stop any of the homeowners? I worry about setting a precedent.
Right.
And just,
Precedent's terrible.
this just sounds like sadly, a bad situation. And because of where it is.
Another question I would have is, Henry, I don't know if you know, but what's driving the current application to CRMC? Has there been a complaint? Okay.
For a couple of years, people have complained to Ken Anderson and whatnot, and he said, well, they'll go around.
No, okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
it does take a while sometimes,
Yeah.
but what would be the implications if we were to not give this a favorable motion?
It's not the same as your regular.
Oh,
So this is, we were notified by them. So this
Yeah.
is if you have something you want to dispute with them, according to the paperwork, it would go directly to them. This
To
isn't,
CRMC.
yeah,
mm-hmm,
this isn't like one of the regular ones.
I see.
Yeah, from what I read.
If you,
Here,
if you desire to
CRMC
protest,
By October 9th, we have until various people, not just us, but various people have until October 9th to drive CRMC to do a public hearing
Right.
on this application. So
I mean,
I
I think
I
that that
tend
would
to
be a
think we
good
should
way.
communicate with CRMC.
I think it would be a good way
officially.
to also see if there's, in regards to your notes, public support or not. Because the special exception requires compelling public interest versus private benefits, which wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah, no.
And so I think that a public hearing would be beneficial.
No, but it costs to join.
I do, yeah, but
It's $940 for for anyone to join the club for the season. They have a special Islander membership, which
Yeah.
is, I believe, $500.
I think it's, the website says 350 right now.
What?
The website says 350 for an island.
Oh,
thing, for
but
an-
you have to have kids in the Block Island school.
Yeah.
So Kate McConville or someone like that cannot, and anyone in the harvest department might want to get
Oh.
to do sailing or something like that, can't join the Block Island Club for less than 900.
Unless you have children in school. Huh.
Unless you have children in school.
Interesting.
And so, which is an interesting comment. So a lot of the people that live out here year round that would love to sail those boats and stuff like that, they have to pay the full rate.
Do we know the breakdown of school children that actually are members?
I
Some.
don't, I don't know that.
There's 9 or 10 kids.
Yeah,
in
they were-
school in the after school program.
Okay, in the after school program. Now, I participated in that because remember, I got those 6.
Henry, can you use the microphone, please?
As a board of governor and interested in the sailing program at the Block Island Club, I worked hard for a couple of years to advance the sailing program there.
Yeah.
And I was able to get them 6 Colgate 26 boats with the help of the town and the state. And it was a special deed of gift that said that it was written so that it would be an affordable sailing program for an area that didn't have a yacht club and didn't have any other resources. And the kids and adults out here had no way of sailing in real keelboats. And I'm not talking about 420s or tippy dinghies. I'm talking about larger boats that you can go out and take your phone on, and you don't have to stand on the centerboard to make it come up if it flips over.
So,
Right? Anyway, so we got those 6 boats, which is an absolute miracle because we weren't really eligible to get them, but the state and the Coast Guard put their finger on the scale. And those boats were worth $183,000. I mean, that was a substantial, and the deed of gift said that they had to have a low rate for anyone on the island that wanted to use it, which is at that time $250. And the use of the boats had to be free, except for value added, like sailing instruction and things like that. And now sadly, they blew that program up by charging a lot of money for the use of the boats. This is back when I was at the club. And so I left and started Block Island Community Sailing under the same terms. So they do have an after-school sailing program where they have once a week or a couple for 6 weeks, something like that. They take twice a week. They take the kids out sailing, and I participated in that on the new boats. But they don't have lesson plans. They don't have textbooks. It's not like an organized sailing lesson class. The kids go out, they have a great time. They dangle their legs in the water and they sail around the pond and stuff like that. But it's not a accredited sailing program. So I'm all for getting people out in the water and getting them used to sailing, but it could be a lot more than it
I'm
is.
curious why you brought that up.
Sorry,
Oh,
Why did you bring that up? I'm curious
about what?
about
The membership?
yeah.
Because I wanted to see if it's affordable to Islanders.
Yeah. What's up, Carlos?
Amanda, I have a question for you. Is this issue going to be treated by town council this meeting coming up?
okay, so the Block Island Club wrote the town council a letter asking for support of this application. And they said in their letter that the Block Island Club is a public, community benefit organization. And they said that, you know, we're doing everything we can to help island kids and to this and that and kind of stuff. Now, I saw that on the agenda, but I didn't hear any discussion, and I don't know. I'm assuming that whomever made a presentation at the time and the town council, the letter was very favorable, saying that we are a terrific, public benefit thing, and we think we should get this application, get that town letter from the town saying the application been approved. It didn't say that they were already built, and it didn't say that,
More detail.
you understand? Doesn't mind.
Okay, so
Want to, denigrate the value of the Block Island Club. They're still doing great things in the summer
Yeah.
with families and kids who are visiting,
Carlos,
and kids
what's
who are
your
learning to
thought?
sail and all of that. I don't think there's any question about that. I think that we should try to focus on the fact that the big question here is, the Conservation Commission is not a decision-making body,
Mm.
but we have been asked to respond to CRMC, right? I mean, so to me, I think we should indeed respond to CRNC and I would suggest we respond with some grave concerns about the fact that the docks are illegally built and existing, and there just doesn't seem to be any credible way for us to encourage their continuance. We're not a punishing body. We don't have any power on it, but CRMC does.
Yeah.
So, who knows if they'll do it, but,
Carlos, what do you think?
I would urge my colleagues to lodge a strong, vigorous protest. This is disingenuous to say that proposed improvements are such. It continues the longstanding pattern on island of some believing that they can just do whatever they want without any concern for the regulations or the common good. And so it only adds to people like that to think they can just do whatever and they will escape any kind of punishment. I share my colleagues' concerns about power vessels. I think the Salt Pond has already way too many, and in front of the Block Island Club, you can see power vessels skiing and making all kinds of wake for any recreation of paddleboarding or kayaking or even simply just enjoying the salt pond. Unfortunately, I don't think the town has enough resources to enforce the buoy line because I've seen repeatedly yachts on the other side of the buoy line. So, and I know that's not a Block Island Club issue, but it is an issue of people with powerboats thinking that this is their little play pond and their little playpen. And I would urge that we do lodge a formal protest. I'm looking at the second page that we're expected to cite what law or laws we are objecting with. So I think it's very important that before October 9th, we prepare a draft that cites laws. Otherwise, if there's some kind of nonsense going on in the background, that will be a quick way to dismiss our protest. And I'm very glad that Sue looked that up about type 1 waters. I see absolutely no compelling public interest. And furthermore, I would chastise the CRMC for the fact that there is absolutely no vegetative buffer on the Block Island Club. It is one big open lawn. And in fact, they've cut back further in recent years. And that creates all kinds of problems for the neighbors that I personally know from all the runoff coming through into their property, that before you had some vegetation that absorbed that, no longer the case. So I would even say to the CRMC, and why is there no vegetative buffer enforcement there?
That's true, and I think that what what Dorothy and Amy and Sue all shared around the concerns about what that says, like as a precedent is like, okay, so we have no vegetative buffer. We have these illegal docks, like, so Block Island Club is not applicable to these rules that everyone else is subjected to. And I think that that is important to stay vigilant about because, yeah, it's.
So our protest.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a quick second. I just checked the council's agendas to see if anything was posted. I have it as under the consent agenda for receiving correspondence on their agenda. It's listed under consent agenda for receiving correspondence, the same notification that I gave you for tomorrow's agenda. I don't have anything else for it at the moment. Was that at the last meeting? Okay. I'll keep looking for it, but I have it on their agenda for tomorrow.
Mhm. I mean, we only really have good reasons to protest this.
There are a lot.
Yeah.
You have to ask for the public hearing if you want it, or anything to be considered.
You're right.
That's the key thing on the ninth. They're gonna wanna know if there's a substantive objection, which are the words that trigger a public
Yep.
hearing. Otherwise, they'll vote on it that evening if there's some substantial objection. So you wanna use those words in
Okay. So on
Substantive
on
objection.
Conservation Commission, the question is, who wants to draft a letter?
I can draft it. I'm happy to do
Want
that.
to
Yeah.
draft it and send it, because
Absolutely.
Amanda, we can go back and forth on letter drafting, right? Within the committee?
I'm gonna go with no, because you're not allowed to talk about a subject. But if you want to draft one, I can call another meeting
Before October.
before
9th.
October 9th, yeah.
So if or I can draft if you want.
Either way.
I can send it out for everyone to review, but you can't
and
talk
then-
about it
then-
until
And then we could edit it at another meeting.
Yeah.
But I think if it, as long as it's a group that doesn't constitute quorum.
Yeah, but are you gonna tell me all five of you don't want to talk about it?
Right, so that's what we would do is I would suggest that we agree on a subgroup here from our members here. That would be a committee to
Yeah. we can
develop.
do
them.
that.
Why not
Yeah,
just
let's
do
do
that?
that.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that
Um,
because,
I think that, like, I'm happy to draft it, or we
Okay.
can just co-draft or just
Yep.
share Google Doc. It's
Yep.
not like, we can do that now, so.
yep, that's fine.
And then I can schedule the meeting.
I'm not here I'm not here, I can do next Tuesday or the Tuesday after that,
Okay.
and
I want
then
to say 2 weeks from now. That would put us at,
That puts us at the 30th.
we just have to make sure that it's, you know,
Yeah,
done and
we have to
dusted.
make sure we don't come too tight up against October 9th.
Right. I think the last week of
If we
September.
have
is
a, if
probably-
we have a subcommittee that can work on the letter.
Yeah.
And then we meet on the 30th, it should still be plenty of time.
That's what I think.
For us to agree on the letter and get it there.
Is there a time limit for correspondence?
Yes, October 9th.
October 9th.
The correspondence?
Yeah, and it's.
Do we have to, do like
They're
like a
fine.
motion to create this letter writing subcommittee?
No.
We don't? Okay.
No, okay.
I mean, if you want to, you can, but.
No, I
you
just
know.
wanted to make sure that it
Yeah.
was all
Right.
copacetic
So
and.
Nope.
Who
Yes.
else wants to be on the letter writing subcommittee?
I mean, I'm sure,
Sharon
I'm
and I can
sure
work on it.
Carlos
I think
might be.
see the letter. and-
Sure, yeah, and I can try to look up law if you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's one of
so we're
y'all
gonna
gonna do that.
Aim for the,
me and Carlos, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
guys?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay,
and then we're gonna go for the 30th at 4:30.
Yeah,
yeah, at which point we'll have a quite finished letter draft that hopefully won't need too much before it can get sent.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you for going down there.
I would like you to make the motion just to be on the safe side.
One,
because
one.
I'm
we'll
almost
make that motion
positive,
For the subgroup.
yes,
Yeah.
but also for writing the letter, just so that it's on the record. in
Yes.
case.
All right,
Do you want me to make the motion since they are the subgroup?
Sure.
Does that work better?
take it away.
That's totally fine.
Take
Just,
it away.
just so there's no like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
take it away.
no conflict of interest. All right, so I make a motion that we create a subcommittee of Carlos, Taryn, and Sue
Mhm.
to draft a letter outlining our response to CRMC concerning the Block Island Club application. Do I have to say all that? Okay. And
You can just give me the application number, the file numbers, the,
let's see, act on application 2025-06-090.
thank
Yep.
you.
And
And
we
we
make a favorable.
will
motion?
re-meet September 30th. Do I say
Yes.
that too? Okay.
Don't put that on yet. I need to make sure that the rooms are available
Okay.
and that I'm
So
not
we
overbooking,
meet
but
again
tentatively,
Tentatively.
yes.
yes.
September 30th.
Okay.
Is everyone?
And do you need anything else?
I can second that.
That's good.
Okay, all right.
All in
All
favor?
in favor?
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay.
Alrighty. Does this conclude our meeting?
Just one note of information, Committee for Great Salt Ponds Board is going to discuss it on Wednesday.
Okay.
Great.
So maybe if we could let them know
That's
this is where we're headed, just so that they know that if they decide to go that way, they're not alone either.
Great. And
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you,
Cool.
Henry.
thank you.
Thanks, Henry.
You have to make a motion to continue the next one.
Okay.
To October.
And I'm also gonna can I say the name of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can say that, just that we're continuing it to the next meeting.
All right, we're also gonna make a motion to continue the Turtle Swamp LLC Plat 4 Lot 45 by number 1747 application till our next meeting.
In October,
In what?
in October.
In October. All in favor about that?
I need a second.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, I guess this concludes our conservation.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, we are gonna motion to adjourn.
Yay, I second it. I triple it.
Aye.
Aye.
Let's
Thank